Welcome to J. Marie Yoga. You might need 2 blocks for the end of the class. For now, let's just put them aside. This is a class designed for people who don't want to use their wrists or their hands but get a nice little flow in. We're going to start by coming to the top of our mat. Your feet are going to be hip-width apart. We're going to activate our legs, make sure that our legs are squeezed, our glutes are engaged, ribs are pulled down, shoulders are rolled down and back, and just allowing your palms to open up, facing forward. Nice, strong standing pose to start. We're going to reach our arms up towards the sky, trying to keep the ribs pulled down. Our legs are staying nice and engaged here. Interlacing the fingers, we're going to just lean over towards the left side, getting a stretch in the right side body. Inhale, coming up to the center, and then we're going to go on the other side, so reaching over towards the right, stretching that left side body. Coming back to center. We're going to bring our hands into prayer now, stepping back with our right foot, staying into high lunge on the back right toes, reaching our arms up to the sky, pulling the ribs down, staying strong in the core. We're going to hinge forward and then bring that right leg up, extend the toes forward. Bend the leg, step back as slowly as you can, coming back into that high lunge. And then we're going to repeat that. When you extend that leg, try to hold it there just for a moment, nice and strong. Leaning forward, stepping up, extend. Stepping back. Leaning forward, this time bringing your hands up prayer. Extend those toes out and just hold here. Bending that knee. Then we're going to grab the big toe with the peace fingers. So the middle and the index and the thumb. Extending that leg out. Sorry, you can't see my feet. So maintaining the strength in the legs, we're going to release the toes, hands on hips, and just hold here for a moment. Releasing when you need. And then we're going to switch sides. Inhale, reaching up. Stepping back with the left foot now, coming into that high lunge. If you have any shoulder issues, you can always keep your hands at prayer. You don't have to reach up. But otherwise, if you want to, reach your arms up as we come forward, extending that leg forward, stepping back, and we're just going to repeat the same thing that we did on the other side. Leaning forward, lifting the leg up, extending the toes, holding it strong, bending the knee, and then stepping back. Repeating this one more time. Bringing your hands at prayer, extending that leg out, holding it as long as you can, and then bend, grabbing the big toe with the index, middle finger, and the thumb, extending it out, straight, strong legs here. And then with all the strength in your legs, release the big toe and hands on your hips and hold here just for a moment. And then release. And give your legs a little shake out. We're going to bring our big toes together, coming into chair pose. Inhale, sweeping the fingers to touch the ground, reach the arms up, sitting the bum down, pull the ribs in. We're going to come into doing some twists here, so bring our hands into prayer. Inhale, Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. We're going to keep repeating that each breath per movement. It's okay if your elbows don't actually make it to the knees. You just want to be twisting in that direction. If your elbows do make it to your knees, you just want to be pushing the elbows into the knees to get a nice little twist in the back. Staying down low, we're going to reach our arms forward, come up onto the tips of the toes. See if you can hold here. Get a little lower all the way down. And let's see if we can stand all the way up. I wasn't able to hold it, but if you can, do it. Feet are hip width apart now. Roll the shoulders down and back. Pull the ribs in. Pull the belly in. Make sure that your core is engaged. Slight bend in the knees. And then keeping everything engaged, hinge at the hips, keeping your back flat. If this is enough for you, stay here. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more, reach the arms forward so the ears and the biceps are beside each other. Keep pushing those fingertips forward. Breathing in and out through the nose. No matter where you're at, we're just going to bring our hands behind our head now. And we're going to go into some twists. So standing up, we're going to twist towards the left as you bring your right knee up. And then go back to neutral. Coming up, twisting to the left. Exhale and then come back to neutral. And by neutral, I just mean our starting point. We're going to keep on twisting here, one breath per movement. Trying to keep your core engaged. Trying to keep your balance as much as possible. Okay, so on the right twist here, we're going to hold it and extend our arms out. Then we're also going to extend the right foot out, trying to hold this. Bend that right knee, bringing the hands behind that head, and then come back into the starting point. Then we're going to go and do that on the other side. Coming to stand and twist to the left, extend the arms, then extend that left leg, holding here, squeezing both legs. Hold one more second, and then release that. Come back into our starting point here, and then come to stand. Release everything. Coming to a half forward fold, you can have your hands on the ground or bring your hands onto your shins. From here, we're just going to engage our core and relax it a couple times just so we have the proper engagement going on. So on your exhale, you're just going to pull the belly button in, pull the ribs down. As you can see, everything is nice and tight. And then relax it completely. It's all loose. Keep doing that. Try to engage here and keep it engaged. Bringing your hands of prayer. We're going to shift the weight into our left foot, stepping back with the right, twisting to the left, coming back to center, stepping forward, staying nice and low, switching sides, going to the left, twisting to the right, coming back out of it into center, staying low, stepping forward. We're going to squat down nice and low as you can get. And then when you're at your lowest, just hold. You can keep your hands at prayer, cross your arms, reach forward on your mat. Do whatever brings you more stability. Just holding here for a moment. Slowly sitting onto your bum and making your way all the way down onto your back. Bringing your feet in, hip width apart. We're going to come into bridge pose here. Lifting the hips, pushing down through the heels, tucking your shoulders underneath your back. If it's accessible, you can clasp your hands and just bring your chest forward a little bit more, pushing down into the feet, lifting the hips up nice and high. If your hands are clasped, we're going to release them now, untucking the shoulders, bringing the feet in towards center line, keeping the hips elevated at the same height. We are going to stay here, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, extend that right leg. We're going to drop the heel down towards the ground and then lift it up, keeping the knees in line with each other. Repeating this 10 times on this side, keeping those hips elevated. This is really challenging. Last one, and bend that knee. Now switch sides. Left leg extends, heel down to the ground, and then lift the leg up. Again, trying to get the knees to be in line with each other, keeping the hips elevated, squeezing those glutes. Ten times on this side. And bend that leg. Feet are together, and just hold here for a few breaths before you drop it all the way down. Take a moment here to just relax before we bring our knees back in towards our chest. One leg at a time, bring your knees in towards your chest. Now, just a little bit of core work. Extend that right leg out at an angle. Pull your chest and your shoulders up. Shoulders will be off the ground if possible. Switch legs, inhale, exhale, switch legs, inhale, exhale, switch. And keep going here with your own breath. Now bringing your hands behind your head, we're going to twist. So right elbow, left knee, left elbow, right knee. One breath per movement. Last one each side. And relax the upper body. Your knees are going to be tabletop here, either 90 degrees with your knees directly above your hips. If this is enough, feel free to stay here. You want to keep your lower back pushed into the ground, keep your ribs engaged, your core engaged rather. If you want a little bit more, we're going to extend those toes straight up to the sky. You don't want them dropping down like what you see right here, so you want them pulling right above your hips. You also don't want them too far forward. Try to gauge it as best as you can. From here, we're just going to pull the toes towards the face and point the toes. Pull them towards your face and point. Just getting a little bit of movement. Try spreading all of your toes. And then we're going to do a little bit of core. So bring your hands behind your head and then lift the shoulder blades up off of the ground. We're going to pulse up. So trying to keep the shoulders off the ground the whole time. You can also use your hands to just reach towards your toes if that feels easier. I like to do hands behind my head. Last lift and relax. And we're going to relax fully here, so allow your feet to come together. Your knees are going to splay open into a butterfly pose, allowing your hands to come alongside your body, palms facing up, shoulders gently rolled underneath your back. Relaxing through the body, releasing all the tension that you've built up. Bringing the knees in towards each other, using your hands for help if you need to. Bring the knees in towards the chest and roll yourself up to a seated position. We're going to just do a quick hip stretch. Double fire log pose. So this is where you might need your blocks if you are pretty tight. So with this pose, to sit up nice and tall, open the legs up. We're going to bring the right leg on the bottom, in line with the left hip, and then bring the left ankle over top of the right knee. You're going to have a little diamond shape. No, not a diamond, a triangle shape, of course, in your legs here. So the heels aren't going to be close in. The knees and the ankles are stacked on top of each other. With the blocks, if you're super tight, like me, you can just place them anywhere that you might find relief. If you're not really tight, then you won't need them. You basically just want to use the props to help you be able to fully relax. So if that's not happening, you can remove them, lean back, push your legs down towards the ground to get a little bit more stretch. You can lean forward like I'm doing, or just stay completely upright. The choice is yours. This pose can be quite intense, so hold however long you need. Coming out of this to go to the other side, lean your hands back, lean back with the body, and just extend the top leg out. Take a second to wiggle out those legs and the hips before we move on to the other side. Left foot on the bottom, right ankle over top of the left knee. Again, knee and ankles are stacked over top of each other. There should be a triangle shape in your legs. The heels are not close in towards each other. The shins are stacked, and I'll turn sideways so you can see exactly what that looks like. I don't have that much flexibility, so you can't see, but my knee is stacked right above my heel. And again, you can lean forward, you can stay upright, or you can lean back, whatever feels best and allows you to fully relax and release in this pose. Relax might not be the right word. And to come out of this pose, we just lean back and extend that top leg out first. And stretch those legs out. We're going to come into a wide-legged straddle. Sitting up tall, toes up to the ceiling, we're going to stretch over on the right first. So right elbow to the right knee, left arm up and over towards the toes. And switch sides. Left elbow, left knee, right arm over towards the left toes. And now back to center, leaning forward into the center straddle here. Coming up and out of that pose, Feel free to pause this and take a Shavasana, or if you don't have time for that, thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.